Hello again there, everyone. Well, here's another quick update for our Vulcan warp shuttle that we're working on, and I've made some good progress today on getting the lighting done on the crew cabin. What I did here is I light blocked it on the inside with some black paint, and then I installed an LED at the front here for the spotlight, a couple of LEDs here on the top. If you can see those, I got a green one for the starboard side and a red for the port, and I've got some cabin lighting here on the inside with a couple of strips of this LED tape in the warm white, a couple of resistors in there to get that all wired correctly, running at 9 volts. And this is what I came up with here for the connector tabs. Now this is going to be sitting basically like this, and when the top half of the cabin is set on top of this, it's going to make a connection there touching these tabs that I've got on the bottom side of this piece, and it's going to light this thing up, and I'll be able to attach it and reattach it whenever I want and have the lights come off and on. So what I'm going to do here real quick now is kind of mock this up and get it all kind of locked down here for you and put together, and I'll show you how this is going to work. It's going to look pretty cool, so I'll be right back with that in just a second. Alright, so here we are. We're back, everybody, and I'll just show you what I've done here really quickly. I've just kind of mocked these two pieces together here with a couple pieces of tape and kind of put this clamshell piece together here. You can see on the bottom I've got our little holes drilled in this, which have our little brass tabs in there for the connector spots, and then here on the other part, which is held down on the table with a little piece of tape, I've got a little connector tabs there, and I've got our 9-volt power coming in, which is connected to those. And so basically what happens is when you set this down on here and the magnet grabs a hold of it and pulls it in there, it just locks it right in place, and it just then we have the lights come off and on. So just kind of like that and like that, and the magnet holds it in there really nice too. I've got the red and the green and the little spotlight at the front, and we've got this little piece here that goes over the front of this, and I'll be putting a little clear lens in there, and that's going to bring that kind of bright looking light down a little bit. And there's nothing in these cabin windows yet either, so that glare is going to be brought way down. But let me turn off the light here for you real quick, and you can see what we've got for a little bit of lighting. I'm just putting my thumb over this side window here, but you can see the nice lighting we've got at the top there and at the front, so that's pretty cool. So you'll be able to display the model with the little cruise quarters either on or off of it. And let me talk a little bit about the bottom part here. This is the engine platform where our warp engines attach. And you can see I've had to cut these little trenches in here on each side, on the inboard side, which will allow me to run my wiring from the warp engines up here to the center. I'll cut this trench all the way across, and then I'll connect, I've got to cut a couple small trenches here to bring my wires from my connector tabs and bring those into the trench area. I'll tie all the wiring together, and once this part is put back on here, that wiring will go through this hole. Our mounting rod will sit there, and the wiring will pass through that and down into the base where our switch will be located. And then all that's left to do is come back and fill these in with putty and smooth those out and get those sanded down, and that's going to look really nice. We'll hide all that really easy, so not too bad at all to modify this for lighting. So it's coming along pretty good. And again, I think this little thing here is kind of slick. Kind of gives you a little something different on that. And it wasn't too hard to do at all. Those brass tabs were just little pieces of some photo etch parts that I had left over, and they've got a kind of a nice little spring effect to them. So I've got it set up where there's just a little bit of tension on there, so that as they go in there and touch, they just kind of compress on there and give it that good connection. So anyway, it's been a lot of fun working on this so far. When I come back on the next update, I'll be doing more paint detailing work on it, starting to put in some of the decals on, and start getting started on some of the assembly of it. So I hope you guys are finding some of this stuff useful. Until I catch up with you next time, everybody, happy modeling, you guys. We'll see you then.